Hey guys, it's Russell back with DieselGiant.com, and on today's video we're going to be showing you how to change out your coolant thermostat and also your coolant on your Volkswagen TDI. The car behind us is the 98 Volkswagen Jetta Tdi. It has almost 366,000 miles on it, and we're going to be doing these two services today. So follow along as I show you how to get this job done and get it done correctly. Alright, the first thing you want to make sure is to have the vehicle supported either on blocks or jack stands, and also make sure the rear wheel is chocked. Next, you want to remove the belly pan. I've already done this. And what you're going to see is your power steering pump right here. What we've got to do is we've got to move this power steering pump out of the way so that we can get to the thermostat, which is behind the pump against the block. Okay, so what you're going to do first is we've got to get this pump loose. We've got to get the belt off of it. So you're going to take a 13mm socket or wrench and you're going to loosen this right here. This is the main adjusting nut. You're going to loosen this. You're going to loosen this with a 13mm. That's one of the pivot points. And you're going to loosen this long adjuster bolt here with the 16mm. Okay, we've just loosened them, we're not taking them off. So once it's loose, push the pump forward and slide the belt off. Now, underneath the pump, there is a 13mm bolt here. There's one here. And then above, see if I can focus in. Right in there, next to the left of the adjuster bolt, is another 13mm socket, or 13mm bolt. And what this is going to do, this is going to allow you to remove the entire pump assembly and the bracket off of the car. So I've loosened all the bolts. As you can see, the entire assembly is loose. Also, I took a 10mm and loosened this bracket right here that holds this. Now you want to make sure, I'm not going to take this hose loose or this pipe, and I'm not going to take this loose. This one's rigid here. So what I'm going to do is when all these bolts are out, I'm just going to have a stand here to just hold the pump right here so that we can get to the coolant flange. Okay, so I forgot to mention before, you do need to take this bolt out. This was the adjusting bolt. Make sure you keep the bolts separated because they're all different lengths. And the last bolt I just left here because of the line. But as you see, the entire pump and the bracket assembly, everything just drops right down. And it gives us plenty of clearance to get at our thermostat flange. Now I do recommend that when you go ahead and do this job that you buy this piece right here, because this oftentimes will turn brittle due to the engine heat. It's just a thermoplastic. So what we're going to do is I'm going to drain the coolant into a suitable container. This pump, I have it set up on a bucket, and I've got some bubble wrap under it so it's nice and stable. The lines aren't stressed. I haven't removed anything. We're not draining the power steering or anything like that. Also check your water pump. Make sure it's not leaking. If it is, this would be a great time to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and drain the coolant, and then I'm going to disconnect these two bolts and get to the thermostat. Alright, well, the bucket idea was a good idea. It did not leave room for my drain pan. So what I did was I made a zip tie chain and supported the pump there, and then supported it on the back bolt there. So it's off the tension of the lines. I can move it if I need to a little bit, and it's not going to go anywhere. and it'll allow me to catch all the coolant that I'm going to be draining out of here. So you may want to think about doing this instead of the bucket method, which I did. Make sure to loosen the cap on your overflow bottle, and you will have a fountain of coolant come out. All right, so I've removed the flange, taken the thermostat out, and let the coolant drain for about 20 minutes, and that's about all that's going to come out. I did take an air hose and very lightly pressurize the bottle just to get any remaining coolant out. This is going to get probably about 75% of the coolant out. As you can see, it's still that nice Volkswagen pink. This is the G11 coolant, and please make sure you use, if you have G11, G12, use the exact coolant that's supposed to be in there. But the new bottle is right here. We'll mix that 50 to 50. So I'm going to take the new flange that I have, the new thermostat, and also the new seal, and go ahead and reinstall these. These will be, these two bolts are torqued to 7 foot-pounds, and as soon as I get that back in the vehicle, then I'll get back right with you guys. What I'm doing now is I've got the reservoir cap off. I've added coolant a few times and I'm getting this up to operating temperature. A little while ago it got up to about 174 degrees, so I'm trying to see if it'll get to 180 or so. But I've got good heat coming out of the vent and I don't have any leaks at all, so I'm very pleased. The job is complete. I'm happy. I'm going to continue to monitor the coolant level for about a week and monitor for any leaks. I hope this job gave you and empowered you to be able to do the job yourself. And this is Russell, and I will see you guys on the next video. Two things I forgot to mention to you guys. First thing, number one, use the proper Volkswagen coolant. This car specs for the pink G12, that's what went back in it. Please don't put Prestone in there. If you mix different coolants, especially the green with the G12, it will produce a slime-like substance all in your cooling system. So that's the first thing. Your owner's manual or your reservoir, you may use G12, G13, whatever. And number two is distilled water only. Do not use tap water. You do not want the minerals in there. The coolant is designed to work with distilled water. So I'm pleased. We're going to let the reservoir sit after it cools. That level will go down. I'll add some more 50-50 mixture, and I'll keep an eye on it over the next week. And hopefully I won't have to do this job again, but if you guys know of a way to keep that stupid O-ring in the block while you put the flange on, please share it with others. Well, this is Russell, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.